that's not it.
What?
Oh, I haven't gotten a chance to check out your. Whoa.
He's no good to
If
me.
you're joining us on
Intro
YouTube right now,
music.
we're blowing your ears out. There we go. Now I don't hear me at all.
Intro music.
Turn the phone level.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
There I am. Hello. How are you? Okay.
So when we play the theme song, it's always quiet in the car,
Right.
but it's blasting in our ears. So that's why I turned the phones down.
So should we?
Yeah, I think when we play, yeah. Monday night when I was doing it with Kim, it was not picking up intro music.
What? I haven't gotten a chance to check out your. Whoa. That's not bad. I mean.
Yeah.
It's a little hot, but
It is. It's much bigger than our normal.
Right.
So I can turn it
should
down.
we boost
here.
our normal stuff up?
Yeah, I think I'm going to boost this this levels here up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can just turn the headphone levels down so that we're not as loud in our ears, even though the levels on Audacity will then be higher. So, all right. What is it? Aldhani.
Aldhani. So am I leaving these up here?
Yeah, because I'm just gonna
gotcha.
go through the intro. Are we live on the tubes?
We're live.
We're live on the tubes. All right, so I'm gonna start recording here. All the tubes. On this episode of BanthaMilk Podcast, Aldhani. Did I say that right? Aldhani. Intro music.
Wait, that's not it.
What? He's no good to me, Dad.
Intro music. Intro music.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
There we go, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Banter, Beskar, and BanthaMilk.
Whoa. What is this?
This is a throwback episode.
What was that? 1918?
2018, 19, yeah.
Wow, we've been doing this for 4 years?
Just about 3, I think. I think there was a Facebook thing that said 3 years ago today, you posted this.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while. We have been doing it for a while.
We should do some before and after shots, like us, our first podcast, and us now, and see how we've grown.
So, well, my hair, I had more hair.
And I had less here.
Less beard hair, yeah.
And you're,
Look, it's
no,
coming.
It is.
No, it's there. It's been like a week and a half
since I shaved. Are we doing our annual?
I don't know. It's not November yet. It's
but
only
you could
October.
Start now.
I could start now.
And then you could wait until the end of November to shave
Right. So I could do it for all of Andor. I could grow my Cash and Andor beard in.
That is exactly what should happen.
So that's what I should. I could do my best.
Trim
Cash
it either.
Yeah.
You need to let it grow mighty.
Just let it grow like a mighty beard.
We haven't said the actual name of our podcast.
No, so we are actually BanthaMilk Podcast. We dropped the Banter and Beskar because
we didn't really drop the banter. The banter's here.
The banter is here.
Just
we
not
are
a
full of banter.
That's
yes.
Right.
But people couldn't remember all 3 words. It was too much of a tongue twister.
Which is a bummer because I thought it was a great alliteration.
I did too. I was
really
we spent hours thinking that up and I was very proud of it.
Yeah, it was going to be like Banter, Brews, and BanthaMilk.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And then we changed it to Beskar.
Speaking of brews, I'm going to pour my traditional whiskey here.
You pour that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pour a glass. So I'll just have to go old school, especially since it's Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA again.
Yeah, so, you like that one.
I just still have some left in the refrigerator.
All right. Well, that is, honestly, when it comes to beer, that's pretty much my standard. Have in refrigerator.
If it's there,
which is funny because I have like a 36 of Coors Light at my house.
Okay. Well, that's a mistake.
Yeah. Well, it's from my baby shower.
Okay.
And it's been sitting not in the fridge, just like in our kitchen in the package still. And I just look at it going, I don't know if I'm going to drink that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be there forever.
Yeah. But I feel like everyone has a 36 of Coors that's just been in their house
that's just been sitting there for way too long. Yeah, I agree because somebody bought it for you to bring over because they didn't really want to drink it either.
Yeah.
And it's just been sitting there forever a day.
I think my parents have a 36 of Coors they've had since before the Bay of Pigs. You know, it's just a thing.
They got it at your baby shower when you
right.
were a baby.
That's right.
Yes, and it's still been sitting there.
That's the traditional passing of the
Of the
36 of
the
course.
36 pound.
Oh boy, the banter
So
is strong.
the banter
tonight.
is strong with this one. So yeah, so we are we're BanthaMilk, and
We're
we are
back.
back, and we're coming a full night of reviewing episode 4 of
Andor.
Andor.
Yes. How do you say it?
Alani.
Aldhani.
Aldani.
You were close. Though.
I
You
was
forgot
close.
the D.
I think Alani is the Disney hotel in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know.
So Aldhani.
Can you learn about that Disney hotel on any other podcasts?
You
or anything?
sure can. You can listen to it on Ears Up Podcast, which is
man,
our
that was
parent
seamless
organization.
plug.
That was a
Seamless
great plug. Yeah.
Yeah. So check out Ears Up. Ears with a Z.
Yes, Ears with the
right?
Z.
You got lots of stuff on there. You got Supreme Taco Resort.
You do.
I'm hungry. I haven't not eaten.
And we had Taco Thursdays today because I was back to school night on Tuesday, so we didn't have Taco Tuesday. So we did make tacos today.
You know, that is the real joy in life that the world has given us 2 days of the week that start with T.
Yes. So you could have Taco Thursday or Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, you know.
And for that matter, Taco Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, if you take W and flip it over, it's an M for Mexico.
For Mexico.
So Taco
which is
Wednesdays
where
makes
you
total
can get
sense.
a lot of tacos in Mexico.
We got
and then Taco Monday, the M for Mexico.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
And
let's just eat tacos every day.
Friday, yeah.
Every day is taco
enchilada Friday because
F kind of looks like an E.
Yeah,
if
kind
you
of
knock off
somewhere.
the bottom.
Yeah, somehow.
This is quality content we're churning out here, Rob.
we're losing viewers by the second here.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about the school lunch that I had the other day.
Oh dear.
I'm not going to do that now because we need to start talking about Star Wars.
Now I'm intrigued. I want to know what you got for school lunch.
It was like a taco wrap, like a taco melt wrap.
Okay.
So it was like a wrap. In theory, it sounds great. It's like taco meat and cheese in a wrap.
Okay. As opposed to like a was it a burrito shell, but just like wrapped up? Okay, so it was like a
but you know, it was Sodexo beef,
right?
With like
grade D, but edible.
Yeah, kind of semi-cooked peppers and onions. And
okay.
It was,
and it turned out to be not as good as one would think.
I put it aside for the Otis Spunkmeyer double chocolate brownie that I purchased, which always is a delight.
That is a delight, yes.
I do want to bring up, so we brought in my bike helmet. I think we talked about it maybe last.
Yeah, when I was, well, it's being blocked by the arm of my microphone.
We've had some trouble with gravity today too.
Yeah, thank goodness.
There's a ghost in here.
There is a ghost in here. It keeps knocking over my Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah, but Rob has been working hard on his Stormtrooper helmet back there.
Yes.
And so I think that my bike helmet, my motorcycle helmet, is very Stormtrooper-esque. So.
Yeah, so he's going to show us since last week or 2 weeks ago, I spent so much time talking about the helmets that I made. He's going to show a helmet that actually protects his head from his motorcycle.
So go to YouTube if you want to get any knowledge or anything useful on this at all. But this is my bike helmet. It's a 3/4 helm, but it's convertible. Right, so
my Jeep is convertible.
Oh, it sure is.
Yes.
Maybe I'll put it on here because it kind of helps sell the deal.
Yes, sell it.
Right, so you put this bad boy on, right, and it kind of looks a little tactical.
It does. Right now, you definitely look like you're about to fly a
like an F-16 or something. Right, so I feel a little silly with just this on, but whatever. I can have a drink of water or something. Then you've got the face mask part.
Okay.
Which I think kind of looks rad.
It does look rad. It almost looks like I don't know, not BMX, but like motorbike, like off-road masks.
There's a tactical look to it.
There is a tactical look.
And it's got pretty serious.
And it kind of looks like Bane's mask a little bit too.
Yeah, I was thinking Shredder from like
Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you're
definitely.
Right. Or else like Ghost of Tsushima sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's got pretty good magnets in here, and when you hook it in here, hold on, where's that? Riveting content. Hold on.
There we go. Okay.
So we get this kind of nice look, which I think is pretty rad.
That is pretty rad.
Then you close the visor.
Oh, yes. Now you definitely look like a dark trooper almost.
Like for real.
Yeah.
I feel pretty like when I'm on the road in this thing, I don't think anyone's good. Sometimes I worry people are going to like report me. I'm like pulling up to the school like this. And there's a man in a dark helmet. He looks kind of like he might be doing up to no good, right? But
you need to add like black like spikes coming out from all over your motorcycle and your helmet and stuff like that. Like really make your bike look very sinister on top of that.
Really
and
though,
then,
I'd love to do like a Star Wars wrap on this.
yeah, that
Like
would be cool.
there's got to be like, because the reason we bring this up is that face piece looks a lot like the bottom part of Rob's Stormtrooper helmet.
Yes.
So I think there's a pretty cool Star Wars mod possibility with this particular helmet.
Yep.
Anyway,
if you knew anybody that could airbrush really well, they could totally airbrush something fancy on there and make it look totally awesome.
yeah, I bet Johnny Jalopy could do something.
Johnny Jalopy, I think he actually does know how to
Jalani.
airbrush. Yeah.
Joppy Jelani, if you're out there
Yeah.
and you know anything about, customizing helmets, or else our friends over at man, we had the guy on here, the cosplay folk.
Oh yeah, Matthew Alcido from the 501st.
501st, that's right, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, any of y'all listening, go ahead and let me know
if anybody from the 501st wants to paint that up for them, because they do a whole bunch of like weathering and stuff and really make it look old and fancy and whatever.
It's not like some amateur paint job when it comes to them. It's they pay attention to the detail.
They sure do. So you could definitely they can make that look super awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think, what do you think?
BanthaMilkPodcast.com.
That's right.
You can buy merch from there as well, t-shirts.
Do we have stickers?
We could get stickers.
I was just thinking, man, because I go to Wawa a lot as a biker and just kind of sit and drink my
and
espresso.
You want to stick stickers on the poles?
That's all I see is like people's podcasts and stuff, and I'm like, man, viral marketing, bro, guerrilla stuff. Let's do it.
That's it. I'm doing it. I'm gonna order a whole bunch of stickers.
You give them to me. I'm on the bike. I'll literally go to every Wawa in South Jersey
and just stick it on.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Just get ready. We're putting this out there.
You got to put it on the gas tanks.
Oh yeah.
Right over top of the stickers that people put there that said "Thank you, Biden," for when the gas was $5 a gallon. Right. But now that it's less, it's like $3-something a gallon. Did they pull those stickers down?
Probably. They probably.
I'm sure they went back and removed them all. Yeah. Yes.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah.
I take it back.
So yeah. All right. Well, I'll do it. I'll get stickers made of the round logo.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be perfect.
And then we'll just
and I need a couple for my classroom anyway.
Yep, so. I hear you. All right. Well, let's do it. And then we can also, if you like, subscribe, and comment down below, if you send us an email with your address, we will mail you stickers.
Yes. And then you can place them all over your Wawas.
That's right.
And if you live in a place that doesn't have Wawa, we will also send you a condolence letter.
Yes, for not having a Wawa, for only having 7-Eleven.
You can place them near your 7-Eleven or your Sheets or your Circle K
or
your Casey's.
Turkey Hill, out in the middle of
Pennsylvania,
for sure. Turkey Hill. Yeah. So we have anybody who's listened for 3 years knows that I coach. There you go. I coach volleyball. In the fall, I do the clock for the girls volleyball team, but I coach the boys team. So I always have a running joke with the people at the table. If the score ever gets to either team 7-11, I yell out free Slurpees. And I tell the managers that the AD has to buy everybody at the table free Slurpees.
Oh.
So they're like, wow, that's awesome, really? And I'm like, unfortunately, no. But I did, the one manager's there every single game. And so I did tell her, I was like, I'm going to stop and get us Slurpees for the next game. So I went into 7-Eleven. I'm sorry, 7-Eleven, like, you do not compare to Wawa.
Oh, it's like, and that's what really frustrates me is when I talk about Wawa to people who don't get it. And they're like, oh, so it's like 7-Eleven. Like, no. Like, and it's not me just being snobby. They're literally not the same.
They're not the same. Like,
I'm like, you can order for, you could do that at Casey's. No, you can't. You can go and pick up a burger that's been sitting under a burner or under a warmer for 4 hours.
They have the burgers
in the bag that you microwave.
Right. Well, 7-Eleven has them in the shape of hot dogs, so they can roll on the hot dog tray.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then like you can order one, and they'll put it on a hot dog bun, so it's a burger on a hot dog bun. But it's the same thing. They've been on that roller for hours on end.
And if you know anything about beef, you definitely just want to cook the hell out of it.
Yes.
Just cook it until it's black.
If it's not well done, it's not done enough.
Yeah.
So,
it's not well done. It ain't done well.
It ain't done well.
That was nice.
That was good. I like that. I think that should be a t-shirt.
I'm on a roll tonight.
Since we lost our WEOK t-shirt, I think that should go on our next t-shirt.
And then you should sneak a WEOK, just
WEOK really logo in the corner there somewhere. So yes, so BanthaMilk. What are we? We're at BanthaMilk.
Yeah, we were in the midst of
BanthaMilk.com.
our social medias.
Yes.
BanthaMilk.com, BanthaMilkPodcast.com rather. We're on Twitter at BanthaMilk. We're on Instagram and Facebook at BanthaMilk Podcast. You can check out
Sure can.
our Facebook group, Sacred Jedi Texts.
Yes.
And you can also go and check out Wendy's Twitter because their burgers are delicious.
They are. Wendy's burgers. Oh,
Just
speaking
seeing
of,
if Rob was paying attention.
I was. The did you, as a kid, did you have a freestyle watch?
Sure.
Because you were a beach kid, the shark freestyle watches. Yeah. So, I have a shark band.
I've honest to God all evening been just looking at that band, going, that's a pretty cool band.
Yeah,
like
it's a freestyle band, shark clip band for an iWatch,
Sure.
for an Apple Watch. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I had a freestyle watch also as a kid, and I loved it. It was simple.
Yeah, I loved it too.
But it was
I
just,
don't know why
I don't know why I loved
did.
it, but I loved it so
Had the
much.
Velcro strap
Yeah,
and everything.
So then I was like, they should really make one of these months ago. And I went to their website. I didn't see it. Doesn't mean it wasn't there months ago, but I didn't see it. But then I went back again just recently, and I saw that they have it for the Apple Watches. So I bought one, and now I signed us up, BanthaMilk Podcast, as ambassadors for freestyle watches. So we're gonna we can put the link in our show notes, and we can Instagram out pictures of this somehow relating to Star Wars. But if you type in our code that I'll put in the show notes, I'm pretty sure it's like BanthaMilk 10 or something like
Love
that.
it.
You can get 10% off if you want a whole freestyle watch or just a band for your Apple Watch or whatever. But I love it so much more than the rubber watch band that I had before. And this, I was actually very, very ingenuitive. Is that
ingenious?
Well, sure, why not?
Ingenuity is what
ingenuity. Yes. So I used my ingenuity to
There it
become
is.
ingenuitous. And I had this like rubber red watch that had a band all the way around because when I had my first Apple Watch, I broke 3 of them within a month. I cracked the screen on 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very expensive. And then after the third one, so the first one, it was weird. It just fell off my nightstand, and it just hit something just perfect and chipped it. It was the smallest little chip, and the guy at the store was like, "Oh, it looks like the glass, like pressure or whatever." But then they sent it off, and somebody there like looked at it under a microscope and was like, "Nope, here's the chip. This is what caused the break, so we're not paying for it."
Of course they're not, because they're Apple.
Yes, I mean they only have $1 trillion in the bank right now.
If you want to check out our code for Apple, don't, because it doesn't exist, because Apple sucks.
Apple doesn't give you a code.
No.
So then I forget what I did to the second one, but then the third one, it was the most random thing ever. We have a pond outside and I have a fence around it to try and keep the dogs out. Doesn't work. They hop over the fence.
As dogs will.
As dogs will. But we're getting a new roof, and the guys nailed a tarp into the fence. It's a wooden fence to push all the shingles off and not go into the pond. Well, they pulled the tarp off, but didn't undo the nail. I put my hands down on the thing and turned my wrist right into the nail somehow. Like I could have put my hands anywhere on the fence,
on any other
spot. And the guy was really nice though. The guy who did our roof, he was like, "All right, how much is the watch?" I was like, "It's like $200." He's like, "I'll take $200 off of your roof for you." I was like, "Thank you." So it was very nice that he did that. But at that point, I was like, "Okay, this is the third watch. I'm not buying another one for a long time." So I finally bought one again, and then I got like the rubber casing on it, like the child-proof case and all that stuff. So I wanted to keep it because I knew if I didn't have it, I would have broken the watch. So I was able to cut it up, cut out holes in it for the shark watch to go through, for the shark band to go through. So now I have the best of both worlds. I have the protective case around my watch and the shark band all at the same time.
Oh, so that
the
band,
red piece is not shark. This is not freestyle. This was, something
So was
else.
there another thing, or did that band just go right into the watch, basically?
The band went, the red thing went right into the watch, and then the bands came directly out of the red part. I had to cut a hole in there, but the shark band,
those usually just go right into
they just go right into the watch. And then like normal people who aren't destructive have just a regular watch here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good that way because it does give the vibe of like an old school shark watch.
Yes.
But I think I would also dig the vibe of just the plain
watch with the band. Yeah. So if Freestyle wants to come up with making their own rubber casing around it. That would be amazing. I would buy that as
I
well.
got to tell you, as an Android user, I've been wanting a good quality smartwatch for years, and they don't exist on Android.
They have some fancy looking ones, but
like the Samsung ones, they're not that great, and they're just not like the iPhone, the Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
Basically, the word is for smartwatches, get an Apple Watch.
Right.
Like, that's it. Because the other ones are just lame. They don't have the same power. But Pixel is putting out a watch this year.
Oh, okay.
And I just got a new Pixel 6a.
Okay.
My whole house is a Google house. We got all Google everything. So, and I've been waiting for a genuine Google made watch for a long time. So I'm hoping that maybe the same thing will happen, and
you'll have a nice cool Google watch, and then get a freestyle band.
Yeah.
So if you want, look in our show notes for the link for 10% off any freestyle Shark watch band or anything like that, or the whole watch or whatever you want. I love them as a kid, and I was very happy to get the band because it was very nostalgic to me.
I haven't thought about the words Shark freestyle watch in probably 20 to 25 years. You just like shook out a core memory in the back of my head.
Isn't it fun when something comes back to you from
because it took no time. You said shark or you said freestyle and it went shark. Like that word just popped into my head. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I remember that.
I literally life is weird. I'm getting old.
No, I know. It is.
It is. All of a sudden things took place a long time ago.
Yes.
Whereas before they didn't.
When hello, what's the things in like the Wonder Years.
Oh yeah.
When it came out in the 80s, it was from the 60s. Now, if they were to make a true Wonder Years from today, 2022, it would have been from like 2002.
Yeah, my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, like 2002 doesn't seem that far away.
But it
doesn't seem like that much has changed the way from the 60s to the 80s. It felt like there was so much change. The only thing that would be different from 2002 to now would just be like cell phones.
I mean, technology, I feel like, has definitely come a long way. Screens and
right. Yeah, you could have the big picture tubes as opposed to flat screen TVs in all the houses.
So 2002, you definitely, if you had money, you could afford a plasma screen.
Right.
They were very expensive. I worked at a high-end audio video store in 2003, 4, and 5.
Okay.
On Long Beach Island. And the 42-inch plasma screen TVs were going for somewhere around $8,000.
Yeah.
And the 60 inches were going for like $12,000.
Yeah.
That was Sony or Panasonic.
And they didn't even make the ones that you can buy in Walmart at the time. Yeah.
No.
They didn't have the technology to make them that weak. I guess like the cheaper versions of it. They didn't
plasma
exist
didn't exist, or LCD didn't exist yet. It was just plasma. And then LCD came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's the new thing." And it was the new thing.
And it was, yeah.
Anyway, we are here to talk about Star Wars.
We are here. I have 20 minutes. I have one fun Star Wars news.
Star Wars news.
So Star Wars wants to release video games, a lot of video games. They've really been on this big push to start releasing video games.
As they should.
Yes. So they're not doing it in their own studio. They're contracting out to all these other studios.
Correct. I know Jedi Fallen Order is Respawn. The same people who do Apex Legends.
Right.
So yeah,
and EA Games in 2013, Lucasfilm and Disney signed a 10-year deal with EA Games for the publishing of Star Wars titles.
Yeah,
and that ends in 2023.
That's coming up, which is great.
Yeah,
honestly, because
that was their last one wasn't very good.
That was the
Fallen
Republic or it was like the big Battlefield.
Yeah,
Star Wars Battlefront 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
which was fun for a second, and then not. Because EA is all about the microtransactions and pay to win sort of
pay to win stuff. Yeah,
the sooner they can get out of EA, the better.
Yeah.
So like the Respawn thing with Jedi Fallen Order was awesome.
Right, and they have 3 titles in the work in the upcoming Jedi Survivor, a first-person shooter and strategy game. Quantic Dream has controversially been announced to be working on a High Republic era title named Eclipse.
Interesting.
Ubisoft Massive is working on an open world title.
Ubisoft, that worries me a little bit.
Okay, because
Ubisoft was Assassin's Creed. That's like the people who make Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
And they're again one of those people who like sign up for your Ubisoft XO whatever account, and then you get free skins for this, and then earn points, and you get so
Right. Yeah.
this,
More
yeah.
microtransactions.
But the games are usually like, at least the gameplay itself is usually pretty good.
Okay. Knights of the Old Republic is receiving a remake, albeit one caught in some development troubles.
Yeah, I had heard that it got stalled.
Yeah, they're finally getting Amy Hennig is finally getting an opportunity to create her own Star Wars story with Skydance Games. Oh, and additionally, Zynga Star Wars Hunters is slated for a 2023 release.
See, like, I wish that mobile games didn't suck.
Right.
I have found very few mobile games that I've actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
I've found a few that are really good. I was playing that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or whatever game for a while, and it was like almost fun
Okay.
until I realized how
Repetitive.
monotonous and repetitive
Yeah.
it was. And then it's like any of those games where it's
Uh-huh.
like, well, I've done all the things I'm allowed to do currently.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta wait, or I'll spend money.
Yeah.
Which I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
which
do.
I'm not about to do. So Star Wars is their goal is to release a new video game every 6 months.
That's good news. We
That
like
is good news. Let's see if they can.
Maybe we'll get a Star Wars Galaxies remake.
So there is a new, not necessarily a remake, but a new open world multiplayer game on the horizon.
Okay, like an MMORPG,
kind of like an old school MMORPG game.
like a World of Warcraft.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic, that I think is still, I know is still live. I don't know if it's still getting updates or anything. I think it is though. So that's their first foray into like the MMORPG.
Yeah.
World.
So, and then there was some company. So, I've spoken many times about Star Wars Galaxies, and I've taken a huge hiatus from it, but um, there's people who are constantly making their own versions of it and stuff like that. And there was an article about this one company that was really trying to make a huge, big new re-release of it. But it's taking place in the time of Star Wars Galaxies that I wasn't a fan of.
Right.
Because it was once that it was going to be like major Jedi infested,
which most people stopped. Like that's why most people didn't like it.
Yeah,
it kind of fell off after they updated it.
After they updated it, and there was a whole series of articles written by one of the people who first wrote the game and developed the game and stuff about how many people were so excited to play the game when it first came out without even having the inkling of Jedi. They were just doing what they loved to do. Right. But then once Sony said, we need Jedis in this. And then, so once they released the way for the Jedis to come, then everybody stopped doing what they wanted to do and just did everything they could just to become a Jedi.
Sorry, I'm messing with my wire here.
I see that. Yeah, because the new wire is shorter.
Short.
So sorry. So that's pretty much the only good news that I got out of this, except for the fact that, Andor is out, and so that's what we're gonna do now is we're gonna break down episode 4 of Andor.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Pew pew.
Pirates,
pew.
ye be warned. There be spoilers.
Yeah,
here.
Let me find the air horn because I know how much you like that.
My dumb self didn't bring the thing again.
You didn't bring the thing.
Someone driving in their car just swerved off the road and died.
Panicked. Yep.
Sorry, y'all. Anyway, episode 4 of Andor. I got to tell you, we broke down the first 3 episodes last week. I was really jazzed, really excited. I'm still really jazzed, really excited. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Highlights for me, Stellan Skarsgård's acting.
Yes.
Outstanding. I want to point out that I think last week I was talking about Stellan Skarsgård in Rogue One.
Right.
I don't think he was in Rogue One.
Okay. When did we see him before
I don't think we did.
Okay.
I think I was confusing him for another actor in Rogue One who kind of looks like him. So if you're out there, like, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's not. Anyway, he was such an awesome standout again in this episode just because of his ability to be so duplicitous and to play the role.
And now we see deeper angles to him where he's playing 2 different characters practically. So
and we see him even like at that one moment get into character. Like he
yes.
takes a moment to just kind of put on his smile and put on his posture and like grin and like and
yeah.
then he like walks like sullenly back into the other room like I gotta go do this crap. Here we go. Talk about this stupid freaking artwork with this freaking senator and like act
yeah.
like I'm
But
not.
yeah, and she was acting like she cared also.
Yeah,
So
and that was a great like I don't know who the actress who plays Mon Mothma is, but they're excellent.
yes, well
Um
she was Mon Mothma in
in
I think
Rogue
in
One,
Rogue
right?
One. And she was also the voice of Mon Mothma in The Rebels.
Okay.
So when we see oh my gosh, I have
Yeah,
beer
just a
burps.
couple sips of
Yeah, a
beer and
couple
you're
sips of
just
beer and suddenly Genevieve O'Reilly is her name.
like Baba O'Reilly.
Like O'Reilly Auto
Auto parts.
Parts.
Wow.
Yes. So she was in she was in Rogue One, she was in Andor, she was in Tin Star, Token, The Kid, and Star Wars Rebels as Mon Mothma as well. So yes. So she did the voice of it in the cartoon as well. So her voice is consistent throughout the whole series
I
of
mean,
this time.
they've been doing a pretty good job at that. Ahsoka aside, obviously
Mhm.
Ahsoka Tano is not played by the voice actress. But I mean, they did that with Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
I believe they're doing it with. Are they doing it with who's the other Mandalorian girl with the painted helmet? That's gonna annoy me.
Oh, from Rebels.
Yeah,
Sabine Wren.
Sabine. Are they doing that with Sabine?
If she hasn't been in anything yet, but if she's going to be in Ahsoka, I think maybe they use her as well. That'd be pretty cool if they did.
I know they were also talking about using like if they brought when they did bring Maul into Solo,
Right.
it was Ray Park as the body, but it was the voice from the animated series.
Oh, okay, very cool.
So I think they're doing a pretty good job at keeping the consistency between all of their different mediums.
Yes, yes, they are. So here's the rundown of the show, as well
Get that rundown for you.
as
Just sending a rundown.
Can you just
to
send me
my-
a rundown? Just
to
give me
my
a rundown
dad.
of that. Yeah, I'm just finding out from my dad what a rundown is. How you doing with that rundown? Good. What do you want? Is there anything specific you want in that rundown?
I got to tell you, Peacock ruined my life.
Okay.
I remember a day where life was good and I could turn on Netflix and watch any episode of The Office I want.
Yes.
And I can't do it with Peacock.
Nope.
I get to the first commercial break and go, no, I can't do it.
Well, you have to do what I did, which is buy the DVD box set.
So my PlayStation
Uh-huh.
ejects CDs and DVDs immediately.
No way. It doesn't like them.
Yeah. So I can't even play games that I don't have downloaded to the hard drive.
Did you try blowing on the CD
I did,
before sticking
and I
it
blew
in?
it inside the
And then
the
hitting
thing
the
itself.
side a couple
I hit
of
the
times?
side and the top.
And the top, yeah.
Nothing, man.
No, none of that worked.
Yeah, so it's a
For
bummer.
those of you who were born in the 2000s and are listening to this, that's old references to the original Nintendo game system.
And Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and N64 and Genesis. Those all worked. Those techniques, I think,
for the
across
cartridges,
those cartridge families.
Yes.
Whether they worked or not is irrelevant. That's what we did.
It's what it seemed. And
it sure seemed like it worked.
I just found out that the closed door button on elevators, 80% of elevators in New York City are non-functional. Yes.
Yep.
So
it's a placebo.
It
placebo
is
button
as well. And I learned this on the Office Ladies podcast. Speaking of The Office, and also if you push the button for the crosswalk, those do the same exact thing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm sure they do.
The only thing that they may do for you, if it's a very busy road, they have it programmed that if you push that button, whenever it eventually goes to letting you walk, it actually gives you a little bit more time to walk across the street.
Sure. And some of them have like the flashy lights.
Yes.
Like at Rowan, they had that too. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, no. Okay, so
Andor.
Back to Andor. So there's a Star Wars
Picture
somewhere in here. Yeah.
Sicily. Sorry. I did that bit last week.
All right, so the first thing we see, we're in the spaceship.
So by the way, I watched this episode extraordinarily piecemeal.
Okay.
Because I, honest to God, thought we were doing this last night.
Okay.
My Wednesdays are very long. I get to school at around 7, and I am done with everything around usually 9. We had back to school night last night, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And like we probably decided on tonight. I
Right.
just don't remember anything.
Yeah.
So like I was at school and like I was getting ready for back to school night, and then back to school night comes and I'm like, all right, I gotta watch Andor now. So I literally watched like the first 20 minutes in like the 2 periods of prep I had during the
Okay.
thing. So I'm like halfway through the episode and I text you, I'm like, we going tonight? And you're like, not tonight. And I go, yes. And you were like, we can do that. I'm like, no, that's fine.
You're like, fine. We'll do it tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah.
So I watched the rest like in 2 pieces today. So yeah, some of this you're gonna have to jog out of my memory.
Yes.
We open up on.
We open up in the ship.
Yes, that
they're
was
flying
cool,
in the
man.
ship. Yeah, which
There was
looks
some
like
weird stuff going on in that ship.
Yeah, and I touched on it a little bit last time, but I did Google the Ralph McQuarrie
Art, the concept art, right?
the concept art, and it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. And one of the things that I did on one of the behind the scenes Disney Plus Star Wars shows, they were talking about how George Lucas did want the round cockpit.
Right.
That was the big thing that he wanted.
Yeah,
So
they're trying to decide whether they put it in the middle or
right, the right, the left. But the original Ralph McQuarrie one, it was more of a square ship with the round cockpit in the front. This was similar to that. It has different set of wings set up and things like that. But it's close enough to me that I would say that they did this on purpose to base this off of the Ralph McQuarrie drawings.
Right.
But yeah, so they're inside, and Cashin he's trying to find some bandages because he got shot with a laser rifle. And then they're talking, and your boy Skellen Scarsdale is telling him, look, I see the way I see it, you have 2 choices. I can drop you somewhere, you can start running, or you can come with me. He said, of course you could take he goes, or of course you could take this ship, which I also found interesting later on, like in the 3rd episode, I guess, when he like calls the ship like it's a horse when they're running out to like get it off the planet. He like blows his he blows.
Yeah, he does.
He makes a whistle. He's like, and then the ship starts up like it's a horse coming to him.
I never even thought about it. I just completely. Oh, that's normal.
Yeah, which is
the first time we've ever seen that happen in Star Wars, probably.
So when you go to your motorcycle tonight, I want you to whistle when you go out there to make sure that.
I wonder if it'll do anything different.
If it'll start up for you.
I've never whistled at it before, so I can't say that.
Maybe it will.
So the ship was rad, and
and then
clearly,
the ship like
got some sort of AI life to it because there's that little thing that comes out like an eye. Almost,
it's like an eyeball looking at him,
and he talks to it, and it interfaces,
and it turns and it spins and whatever.
It's like it's kind of weird and creepy, but also kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like a sentient eye that lives in the ship.
Yeah. So
you kind of wish that like
it's almost like his square droid. It's almost like his Bevo.
Yeah,
BMO. Yeah,
I'm thinking like L337 gets into the Falcon.
Right.
You know what I mean? If only they had like one of those contraptions, it'd be so cool to have. Like,
to have her talking back to him. Yes,
like
that would be really, really cool.
So maybe that was what happened. Maybe he lost a really close droid friend of his, and he saved him in the ship, and here we are.
But he does which is funny to me when he says, or I guess you could try and take the ship, but I don't think that would happen because when we see later on. When Scarsdale, right? Skarsgård is out. Stellan he's out talking to the girl. I want to say Zuby, whatever. Zippity doo dah. When he's out talking to her, you see Cashin like kind of lean towards, like he's thinking that he's going to try and take over, like hop in the driver's seat of the ship and fly away.
Right.
And the ship says, "Is there something I can help you with?"
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure the ship has a way of shutting itself down if a bad person tries to Vale is her name, Vale, VEL.
Yeah, and Luthen is
Stellan. Yeah, so Luthen and Vale are talking. So all right, so we're in the ship, and he has this nice thing about, look, I didn't even want the box at all. I wanted you. You were the prize, not the box.
Which, of course, we have no idea why yet. Right? They're setting this up as he hunted for this guy. He searched him out specifically, but for all we know, he's just some dude from the forest right now. So clearly, there's something we don't know
Yeah.
yet as to why they're searching for him.
And
right?
then we find out more of his backstory where he's talking about how he was imprisoned and he was fighting, the Empire made him fight and all that stuff. And the planet that they were referring to was the same planet that we see in Solo when he's fighting, when he first meets Woody Harrelson
right,
and they're in the mud when he also first meets Chewbacca.
right,
That's the planet that they were referring to in the battle that they were referring to when they were referring to him being in the war and how he had to get out. And then Lucen Luthen said something about, but you were just a cook or something like that.
right, because he knows a lot.
Yes, he
a
knows
lot.
everything about him. He knows his history. He knows all of his war history, his personal history. He knows everything about him. So we're gonna find out what makes Cashin so special
Yep.
very soon because Luthen really, really cares. So he keeps pursuing him to join the rebellion. He even offers him 200,000 credits to join. First it says 20,000, then he says 200,000. And obviously there's no way the Elector can eat, sleep too much, even though they're both debating whether the rebellion is important or not. We find out more backstory in Cashin, where he was on the ground for 6 months. The other guy knows about him and he's been watching him for a while. So that's that first scene that I was talking about. Oh, he loved the line, would you rather give it all up at once? Something we missed where the iconic line, why don't you give it all once for something real?
Right.
And then he gives him the
Kyber crystal.
Kyber crystal, the
Yeah.
blue Kyber crystal.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, there again, just these subtle half references that we're getting. I like. There was another reference in here where they're saying that there's a lot of it might have been last week. There's a lot of construction headed towards Scarif or something like that, and that's very clearly like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's the Death Star being built.
That's the Death Star
sort of
being
thing,
built.
you know,
Yes.
so.
Yep. So he tells them that they need him to steal the Imperial Security Bureau with the money. My mind just went blank and I can't even find it. The budget, the payroll. Thank you.
Payroll. That's
the
right.
Payroll. That's
Yes.
what I was looking for.
The numbers.
The numbers. So
Mimban, by the way, was the name of the place where he fought in Solo.
Yes, there we go. So then we go to the Imperial
yeah, we keep getting
Security
like back
Bureau,
and forth between these different spots. And is this the scene where we get like the dismissal of what's his name? He gets fired.
Yes.
And he has to go live with his mom.
And it was funny because the captain is like, I didn't do anything
here.
Yeah.
I was literally on vacation.
Yeah. He
like
goes,
I just got back from freaking what's the freaking casino place? I always forget the name of this place. Either way,
yeah,
I just got back. Like I'm still a little hungover. What is going on, man?
Right.
I literally just walked into this.
Yeah, he's like,
catch me up.
Catch me up here. The
other guy did not care.
Yeah, this
is the Empire, son. You're lucky a Sith Lord wasn't here.
Yeah, and I love the third guy who like raises his hand and he's like,
really?
This Seriously? Is what you're gonna do? You're gonna say this? But they're in the giant white room with all of the lieutenants and everybody, and then
apparently the Empire likes big open white rooms,
big domed white rooms inside of square buildings.
Yep.
They just like to waste a lot of space. But he asked like, why are we here? And then the girl who we're following, she is very very imperial.
Yes.
Very do it by the books, do everything the best that I can. And this is the thing about the Imperial, Deidre, her name is in the show. The Empire is all about promoting those that are willing to step on their coworkers' throats to move up the ladder.
Yep.
And Lieutenant Supervisor, of course, is not going to say the whole name here because it's so stinking long. But the other character who she's battling with, the real actor's name is Ben Bailey Smith. He's like, be careful that you don't miss Blevin. Make sure you don't miss a step on the ladder on the way up, because it's a bad fall on the way down when you get knocked down again.
Yep.
But Deirdre is determined to work her way up and to prove that she is awesome.
So, by the way, not only did Genevieve O'Reilly play Mon Mothma in Rogue One and in was the other one?
Rebels.
Rebels.
Yes.
Also played it in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, in 2005.
Oh, yes. Yes, she did.
Which is pretty rad.
Yes. So the she gives the corporate answer of why they're there, and then the
he's like, "Hey, that's right out of the textbook."
Yeah, the
Wrong.
perfect right out of the textbook.
He went all Professor Snape on her.
He did. He
Right.
did. That's exactly what you should know, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
He in turn said, "We're healthcare workers here. We're making sure that we are preventing diseases before they happen.
Right.
If anything does pop up, we make sure we take care of it quickly to make sure that it doesn't grow and manifest into something else." He says, "You understand that's also how we apply to the memorandum that we are signing." So he basically was like, "Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say, but let's be real here as to what we're actually
Which
doing."
is funny because it's literally what freaking the other dude said to Melvin.
Yeah.
Right? It's like literally the same conversation. It's like, hey man, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Yeah.
And like now he's getting punished because the other guy didn't stay in his lane.
Right.
And so now there's other guys just like doing the same thing. He's like, listen, dude, just do your thing. Let him do his thing. He's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
You do you.
You do you, and you'll be fine.
And let's stay in our lanes.
Yeah. And she's like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
She's most certainly not going to let this go.
No.
It's, you just imagine like we had this slight tension build up, and then they have that conversation. And then that's the last we hear about it. She's like, okay.
She's like, "Fine."
Right.
All this tension.
Yeah.
No, stay. Okay,
That's
fine. And
written,
that's it.
Written by the Game of Thrones writers.
Yes, written how to wrap up a season way entirely too fast. Okay.
Let's just forget about all these plots.
Forget about it all. Or
Which ones do we need?
Yeah.
All right, all the rest just throw away.
Just throw away all the rest. We don't need the rest of them anymore. So then we cut away from there, and she's angry. She's also looking, because they talk about the box and that it was stolen and found. So now I'm very confused and very intrigued to find out why she is so determined to find this box, and what, like, I'm thinking that she had something to do with it getting stolen.
Yeah,
she was in charge of a place that it got stolen from, so she's trying to cover her tracks.
I think last show I had mentioned that, like, I think we both mentioned we thought that it was destroyed, but then we said it wasn't destroyed because clearly we didn't see it get destroyed. And
right.
And
then in this episode, they talk about how they recovered it, and that's when she's like, "I need all the evidence."
Right.
And
Blevin goes,
"No, I'm not going to give it to you."
She goes, "I'm telling." And
oh my God, it was his.
And then Daddy goes, "Shut up,
shut up," and she's,
go to your room.
But he's
no,
like, "No,
shut up." And then the kid leaves, and he goes, "Hey, you're right, but your older brother's kind of an idiot.
Yeah,
and he's annoying, but he does his work. So shut up and do your
shut
thing.
up and you do your work." He turns his work on time, and you don't have yours. Where's your work?
I'm getting ready for parenthood.
Go do your work. Yeah, that's all you have to.
Couple weeks, folks.
If you have two of them, it's going to be a lot of that. And then it's funny when there's only one, and then who didn't flush the toilet? I don't know.
Well,
you're the only one.
Must have been Mommy.
Let's see if Mommy, did you flush the toilet? Yes. What was it, Mommy?
Well, thankfully, we've got 4 animals in the house for our kid to blame.
Right. So the dog,
Lester.
the cat did it. Lester did it. So they didn't really get into yet why she's so determined to find this. She's not following these rules. I'm sure she's going to go and try and find another way, because it works so well for Melvin to just do the other thing anyway. So she's going to keep doing the other thing. Whether it works out in her behalf or not, I'm not really sure.
Only time may tell.
But we found out that it does not work out for Melvin in this episode.
No, he's got to go home and live with Mom, who slaps him
and then hugs
him, which is like a very cliche sort of.
Like, you embarrassed me, but I love you. Get in here.
Right? Like, how dare you do what you did?
Yeah.
But come to your mama.
Come to your mama. I love you so much.
And then he's got to, like, set up the futon in the basement.
and in this, yeah,
He's
it was
got to like put his toothbrush like in a plastic bag in the guest
uh-huh
bathroom.
in the guest
It's a
bathroom,
whole
and yeah.
thing.
So then we are Luther and Vale are talking. You see her come walking in from far away, and he's forcing
yeah.
Cashin on her.
Yeah.
And everybody who's opposed to Cashin being there are saying, right now, at this point in time, this is when you're bringing this to me. So
We're
you
in
see
the
this,
late stages of this game.
yeah,
very
you see
clearly.
the sense of urgency and the fact that it's, like you said, the late stages of this uh heist,
Operation. Yeah.
this operation.
And at one point, man, Luthen, right? Luthen.
Yeah,
He just had enough of her like
yeah,
attitude.
almost like it was his daughter.
Yeah.
Like
And
he
he
yelled
just
at her, like,
"Listen to me," or look at me. And I'm
look
like,
at me.
I
Yeah,
wasn't real because like again, I was like piecemeal watching this. So I was
yeah.
like at my computer doing something, and I was like, well,
Whoa.
okay, Stellan.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was not happy at all that she kept fighting him over this.
No.
He was like, "You're doing it. I don't care. He's
Which is
coming."
essentially how she handles it when the rest of the people
Yeah.
give her crap.
So then she then so she doesn't want him there.
Clem.
Clem. Yeah. He tells him his new nickname is Clem.
What a name.
Yeah, what a great
What a
name.
great Star Wars
Clem.
name.
Hi, I'm
Right.
Clem. It
One of
almost
these
sounds
days,
like
what's funny is
Spaceballs.
I hear that he survived the attack on Scarif just through use of the dark side, and now he's Darth Clem.
Darth Clem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in
Darth Lord of the
Spaceballs
Clem.
too, he's portrayed by someone named Flem.
Flem. Yeah, Darth Flem.
Darth Flem.
You're delicious.
Oh,
that's Pizza the Hut.
yeah, that's what he said. He ate himself to death.
That's right. He ate himself to death.
Uh,
Next up, Rocky 5,000.
5,000.
What a good movie.
So then they're talking about how they need this money to disrupt the Empire. He calls Clem out, and he the next scene.
And she gets angry at him for promising 200,000 credits while they're living.
Yeah,
like,
she said
in
we're
squalor."
eating soup and living in huts, and
Yeah.
you're promising him 200,000. But it was a fun line when she says, "Well, what if he's the problem?" And he said, "Well, that's the good thing about having a hired hand is he's disposable." So then we're back. We talked about this already with Melvin and how he's getting yelled at. The captain's like, "I had nothing to do with this," and the Imperial guy was like, "Yeah, well, that makes it even worse. You should have been there," type of a thing.
Yep.
Now you're under our jurisdiction.
Yeah, we were talking last week about how in the minor areas they just go ahead and hire out. They're like, nope.
Yeah,
Not
they hire
anymore.
out
We
until you mess up. Once you
Yeah.
mess up, then we got to take over. So now
Mhm.
they came in. It's like the state troopers going in and taking over for your small town because all the police are corrupt in the town, and then the state troopers have to take over.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like internal affairs.
Internal affairs, yeah. So they're taking over. So then they all lose their jobs. That's when we saw Melvin go meet his mom. But it was funny when he was first walking on Coruscant. I'm like, who's this guy carrying these two like suitcases? He looks like, I thought he was one of the rebellion people,
Right.
like trying to sneak into
Like all
something,
cloak and dagger.
all
like,
cloak
yeah.
and dagger. And then I'm like, oh,
Just
it's
sad.
Melvin.
Poor sad Melvin.
Poor sad Melvin. You see him like
going to his mom's
going
house.
to his mom's. Yes, he was not happy. So then, all right. So Val gives a backstory on the planet that they're on, and how there used to be thousands of people living up in the hills,
And then
until the Empire came and forced them all south into an enterprise city in the lowlands, basically making them all work for them, mining and doing all that other nonsense. So Imperial infighting. Oh, she says, "Are you denying my request?" And
Yep.
then he said, "Yes."
Sure am.
And then she
Second
said,
time today.
"Then I'm going to Daddy." Oh, and then we go back and you see this younger person dressed like Vale, and he's sleeping against a rock. And
Right.
then suddenly there's a gun in his face, and the guy says, if you sleep on this,
Everyone's dead.
everyone's dead. And then he threw out a couple of different sets and all different little rebel groups that are all forming at this time, including the guy with the mask. What's the
Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera's group and stuff like that.
And they
and
said they'd have your head on a spike.
yeah. So it was interesting. It was fun having him
Which is
throw
dark.
out all those different
Dark for Disney.
dark for Disney, and like one of the names that he said was like the group from Rebels, Sal Guerrera's group, plus even the one I think that Ahsoka was putting together. I could be wrong. But he did mention a bunch of different little groups there, and I don't know if you saw the show The Bear. Have you seen the show The Bear?
No.
There's a show on Hulu called The Bear, and it's weird because it's listed as a comedy, but it's a very, very drama with a few jokes in here, very rarely. But it's all about like this kid who's a chef. He's like an award-winning chef, but then he goes back and works for his parents' restaurant in Chicago. It's really good, but the guy who's has the gun in his face, or the guy who's holding the gun, he's in The Bear. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, I know that guy. He's in The Bear. But then I'm looking at the IMDb yesterday, and of course, things trickle in with this type of a show
Sure.
because they don't want to give too much away.
Right.
So he wasn't showing up in the beginning, in the cast, but then he did show up. He is there now. Eban Moss Bachrach is the guy's name, and he was in The Bear, and he's in this. So if you want to check out another show, The Bear's pretty good, but some places have it listed as a comedy. It is not a comedy.
Good to know.
It's like a 30-minute drama. It's really good.
Rock on.
So then Vale and Cashin start walking in, and then everybody else is upset. Who's this guy? Why is he here? The same questions that Vale was saying. Vale saying, this is in my plan the whole time. And everybody except for the young kid who was like falling asleep on duty, he's the only one that's like,
yeah, he's like pretty cool. He's like, this guy, I got a feeling with this guy.
Yeah, he's like,
which is exactly the opposite of most people saying every Star Wars movie.
Right.
I got a bad, no, I got a good.
I got a good feeling about this guy. This guy's cool. So, yeah,
it checks out at least. We know Andor turns out to be a pretty good guy. So, good
right,
for this guy, he's got good instincts.
Yeah. So,
although to be fair, Andor also says you don't know what I've done, so maybe we're gonna see Andor do some pretty terrible stuff,
which would be pretty cool if we did. Yeah. I would like to see that. So, so everybody's arguing about him, and she's like says the same thing that Luthen says, which is he's with us, deal with it. And then we go to Luthen suddenly putting on a toupee, getting himself all dolled up.
So was it me just on my random shifts watching, or is that ship like really like have like a hidden section to it?
I think it definitely has hidden compartments,
because like it seemed like he was like in just like the cockpit area, and it was like kind of just sort of mechanical, and like things in there, like he had mentioned that the ship was modded somehow,
right?
And then he goes into this place and it's all white, like the Imperial look, so it seems like maybe that's like the official part of the ship. But I don't know, maybe.
And it had like the shelves that came down out of the ceiling,
like in Men in Black,
and it had all the different. So it was funny him.
He put on all these rings,
putting on his rings, like his wig, his robe, and then he comes out and he's like, "I'm ready," and he was like, he went from this hard-nosed, like rebel, like grungy ruffian to this like flamboyant aristocrat type of guy. And he's like,
and again,
let's go.
He's like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah. And then we see this really nice ship pull up in Coruscant. We're in Coruscant.
It was rad that like we're getting a glimpse at like what the noble class of the Empire does.
Yeah,
which is cool because it's like Mon Mothma pulls up in this like freaking
like Cadillac,
or like a Tesla, or something, like some beautiful freaking car, and it's like, oh, look at all the money she's picking up, this rare artifact. But like she's in prison. You know what I mean? Like she's being watched. Like so, like we have like she's essentially she's a very rich and powerful woman, but she's not.
She's not. She doesn't.
Like, it's all fake.
It's like
because she's always looking behind her back. There's people watching her.
Like when on Game of Thrones, I was talking about Rhaenyra.
Oh yeah,
when she was complaining in like the first couple of episodes, it was very Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yep,
where she's the princess. She's loads of money, but she can't go anywhere.
Right.
And Mon Mothma is very similar to that right now, where she has all this royalty and all of this power and
she has
everything.
wealth. She can pretty much get whatever she wants, except
now she knows like everybody in the Empire are watching.
Yeah, she's like she's not free to do what she wants, and she clearly like has more of a stake in this than her husband.
Yes,
like her husband is just. I'm getting the vibe from her husband that he's like someone who used to care, but is kind of sinking into the comfort that his position affords him in the Empire, and he's like, I can't change it, so I might as well enjoy the fact that I'm one of the privileged.
I think maybe he came from some sort of royalty, and he's just turning a blind eye to what's happening because he's similar. Like he's able to keep doing what he wants to do, so he doesn't care what the Empire is doing to everybody else because it's not affecting him.
Right.
It's affecting those people over there, but not me. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy with that.
Meanwhile, Mon Mothma is one of the people who sees like, hey,
yes,
first they came for so and so, and I said, that sort of a thing.
Yeah. So she.
Would her first name be Mon?
Mon. I think that is her first name.
Is her name Mon?
And her last name is Mothma. Yeah.
That's the weirdest stuff. I've never once in my life called that character Mon.
Mon. Hey, Mon. Yeah.
What's up, Mon?
And I don't even think in the show they don't even call her Mon. She says Mon Mothma is coming. So
maybe it's like an Obi-Wan sort of thing.
Maybe.
But I don't know what her last name would be then.
Smith.
Mon Mothma Smith.
Mon Mothma Smith.
Mon Mothma Morrison.
Yes.
Mon Mothma. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going for alliterative stuff. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so she shows up in her ship, and Luthen's assistant is there.
Yeah, they're clearly in cahoots. Those two.
And she's like, "Oh, it's a new driver." Yeah. And he's like, "Okay."
And the assistant's like, "Don't worry, I got the driver.
I'll take care of the driver.
Put on the charm.
Yeah. I'll show him stuff."
Which is funny because she's very deadpan.
Yes.
She's like not charming. She's just very like, here's a new one. And then they come in.
Hi.
Clearly an act.
So Mon Mothma and Luthen put on this little act, and he shows her some of this old weapons. In the background was an old Mandalorian.
Let's check in the back. Oh, what was there? I didn't see.
Yeah, there was. It was an old Mandalorian. I was going to say outfit, armor.
All right.
And then he goes, "Oh, I got this new stuff in the back. Come back here and see it." So
all the good stuff.
All the good, yeah. So it's fun because as they turn the corner, he's like, "Look at this!" And then they get around.
We're totally talking about this thing.
Let's
talk rebellion.
Yeah. All right. We need the money.
Yep.
But she did have a great line where she was like, "I have more to lose than anybody else. So don't tell me that you have more to lose."
Yeah. And I like the way they're doing this because, maybe it's just because the times we live in, but you're kind of used to like that. I don't know. You see the old tropes in Hollywood where like, oh, the prince saves the princess, sort of. You know what I mean? But like,
right.
This is a situation where like they're coming to each other as equals, and Mon Mothma clearly like he's like pushing her, and she's like, "Dude, I'm doing my best. You just handle your stuff."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's cool. I'm glad that they're like leading it. Like Mon Mothma has been like a leader. Like, so they need to make them confident and not like someone who's going to just lay over,
right,
roll over.
Yeah. So she still, and she even says to him like, I have somebody else that I want to bring in.
Right.
And he's like, no. And she's like, yes.
What do you think that is?
So one of the rumors was that it may be Princess Leia's dad, but there was Bail Organa, but there was a deleted scene from episode 3 where he's already involved.
Yeah. So this is. Do we know where in the timeline this is?
This is 5 years before
Rogue One.
Rogue One, which 5 years. Yeah,
so
Rogue One, because Rogue One goes
Obi-Wan,
right into. This is after Obi-Wan,
which we already know that.
Yeah, so it could be Obi-Wan.
It could be Obi-Wan.
It could be Bail. It could be It could even be like a.
It could be Ahsoka.
Ahsoka
we haven't
was
seen
one.
what she. I mean, she's going to become Fulcrum.
Right.
When is this in relation to Rebels? It's before Rebels.
It's the same time as Rebels. Rebels is also taking place at the same time.
It's totally Fulcrum.
Okay, yeah.
It's got to be. I am sure they're going to tie this into Ahsoka somehow.
Because that'll also help lead into the Ahsoka series.
Yeah. Oh man, they're totally setting up Fulcrum. Oh, that's awesome. I just now kind of put that together. I didn't realize when this was. So this is what's happening right now is either at the same time as the beginning of Rebels or before it.
Right.
So like, in season 2 of Rebels, we start, or I guess maybe at the end of season 1. Anyway, we start hearing about this mysterious Fulcrum character,
Yes.
who's a big like undercover whatever with the rebellion, and we learned that it's Ahsoka. So that's I mean, I'll be bummed now. You got me jazzed.
Yeah.
It's got to be Ahsoka. Like to set up for the Ahsoka show, like, and they're totally trying to weave things together. It just makes so much sense.
Yes. So that was one of the other rumors.
So once again, like, pretty good chance we'll see a lightsaber in this,
maybe,
in this show.
Yeah, but
that's fine because it makes sense.
Right. If it's Ahsoka, it makes sense. But we don't want 10 new Jedi's just showing
like,
up in this time that there aren't any Jedi's.
It makes sense to see Ahsoka because Ahsoka's a part of early rebellion. Because that I'd be so okay with.
Yeah. So then after,
but it'd be a pretty young Ahsoka.
It would be a young Ahsoka,
so
but
I don't know.
I mean,
would they use Rosario Dawson?
Look, they used Luke Skywalker, and then
maybe they'll age her down. I feel like they would. I think they should use the voice actress.
She would be cool.
The voice actress looks like really young.
That would be really cool if they used her.
Yeah, so I think that'd be pretty rad.
Yeah. So yep. So then, so Mon Mothma and him. Then when they come back out front, while the assistant is distracting the driver with looking at coins.
Right.
Look at these coins. They're 15,000.
Yeah, they're old. Super old coins. Yeah. Oh, by the way, when they first go in there, they mentioned something about a Ratakan.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
So the Ratakans, first of all, again, they're pulling stuff from the expanded universe.
Yes,
which
they
I
are.
love.
Yep.
In Knights of the Old Republic, the Ratakans were a ancient race of aliens that used the Force.
Yes.
Specifically the dark side of the Force, and they used the dark side of the Force to create this giant machine called the Starforge. And the Starforge was this ridiculous machine that basically could create starfleets.
Nice.
Like it could just churn out ships.
Okay.
And it was powered by the dark side, and the Ratakans used it to like conquer most of the galaxy.
Awesome.
And then like the Ratakans, something happened with them. I think they got, maybe it was like the True Sith Empire. They got in a war, whatever. And then they were wiped out. And then like years later, Revan found the Starforge.
Okay.
And like used it for a whole bunch of stuff. So it's cool that they're bringing that in, and it might kind of help set up some stuff to bring Revan into this whole thing too.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah. They did throw a lot of, and they are throwing a lot of, even just like in this, like one sentence of, stuff from the expanded universe and stuff. And they're bringing it all into canon now, which is really, really
even
cool.
Just something as silly as in the Mandalorian episode 1, Life Day.
Yeah.
Talking about Life Day.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that's how you do, like,
that's all you have to do.
There was no better way to do, like they didn't need to like have a Life Day celebration.
Right.
Like, dude's trying to get home for Life Day.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
And then the true nerds like us know what Life Day is and are like, yes, they brought Life Day in, so now Life Day is real.
Right.
And even in this, in the artifacts, they had from Rebels, the Kanan's girlfriend, Hera, she had that. I'm gonna say it's like wooden, like it was like a T with the things on it. It was like their like timeline, their like historic, their artifact,
their family tree.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's in the background. It's in that scene.
Man, I gotta rewatch
that
scene.
So they have one of those in there as well. So there's a lot of really cool artifacts in there that are you could do deep dives and callbacks to all these different things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Then Mon Mothma goes home, and her husband that we were talking about is like, "Oh, by the you ready for the party?" She's like, "What party?" He's like, "I'm inviting all these people." She's like, "What? Who are you inviting?" And then she looks down at the data pad, and it's all written in Arabesh, but it says all these Imperial.
Everyone who hates you.
Everyone who hates you. I invited everyone who hates you.
I invited all your not friends.
I love you, honey. And she's like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, they're my old friends from college," basically, is what he was saying. She's like, "Yeah, but they're trying to destroy everything that I'm trying to protect." And right now, she knows the Empire is now, they put a hold on the shipping lanes to I forget the planet, but to the one planet that they mentioned. And she's like, "Can I talk to them about how you're killing all the people on that planet?" And he's like, "No, stop, don't do that." But she's like, "All right, well, make sure I'm not seated near any of them because I'm gonna blow my gasket if I am." So That's foreshadowing. I'm sure we're going to see that next week.
Next episode.
Next episode, there's going to be
awkward dinner
dinner conversation about
We're gonna
that.
get the dinner party part 2 from The Office. It's just gonna be like Mon Mothma talking about her plasma screen TV. Goes right back into the wall. It's great.
If I want to sit over here, I can pull it out and turn it this way. It's amazing. Yeah, and then
why are you putting your steak in your blue milk? How could you say that? You know I have soft gums.
You know I have soft gums. I love blue milk. It's for my soft gums. I'm bringing the St. Pauli girl neon light back in.
That would be like it's like a Twi'lek dancer,
yeah,
like the holographs, but it's St. Pauli girl.
Blue milk.
I love it.
Blue milk, St. Pauli girl, blue milk, and it's a Twi'lek instead.
In case you don't watch The Office, this is all really funny.
This is all
very
like
funny. If you watch The Office, you're like, I get that reference. If you don't, you're like,
totally.
Guys, can we get back to Star Wars?
Like
anyway,
you're making jokes that I don't get, and you guys think you're
and
so
honestly,
funny.
if you haven't watched The Office, go watch The Office.
Go watch
2022.
The Office. It was
not
amazing.
on Peacock, though.
No, don't watch it on Peacock. Watch it.
Download it illegally.
It's rerun on Comedy Central and Freeform all the time, but you have to watch it in their order. And Comedy Central knows it's probably, my guess is one of Comedy Central's highest rated rerun shows because
put a lot of ads in.
There's a lot of commercials. It's like every 6 minutes there's another commercial. It's so frustrating.
That's why I got to set up a Plex server.
Yes,
with all the Office and stuff on it.
That's all you need. Just run Office all day long. That's it. Okay, so. Then we're back with the rebellion, and they're getting ready. And now at this point,
and by the way, we're almost towards the end of the episode, right?
Yes,
because I thought this episode ended on a really anticlimactic point.
Yeah, it just stopped.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we're in the woods, we're talking. Hey, we're gonna do the thing soon. Oh, it's pretty soon. We don't have much time. Hey, you want some of this food? Can I eat my food? We're asking you questions. Episode's over.
Credits. Roll credits. Yeah.
It was very I was like, I think I rewound once to be like, did I miss some?
Did I miss something? Yeah,
that happened?
How come? What am I missing here?
No complaints again about the episode, but it was a weirdly abrupt ending.
Yes, it was very all right, well, this is 37 minutes in, so we're gonna stop right here.
It's like they couldn't figure out a good stopping point.
Yeah,
we have this great episode, it leads right into next week, but
they're
can't put a ribbon on it.
Well, let's just end it at sundown. Okay, done.
It was crunch time, last day. We have to get this in. And someone was just like, that's it, done.
It's like every middle school kid's story when they can't figure anything out.
11:58.
And then you woke up from the dream, the end.
Yep.
And that's how every middle school kid's story ends, is because it was all a dream.
And it submitted 11:58.
At 11:58, right on. Yep, that's it. With the last 2 paragraphs are all misspelled because it was submitted with 2 minutes to go.
And then the first 2 paragraphs, for whatever reason, are not written in their or any middle school kids writing style.
No. Oh,
weird.
Did you watch what was the Canadian show where they live in the hotel? Schitt's Creek.
Oh, of course, yeah, for sure.
When the daughter goes back to school.
Alexis goes to school and Johnny writes her
she's like, I think you
untowards.
Yeah.
No, back toward. You wrote back towards, and he's like, it's untowards.
Yep. She was like, no, I wrote this all myself.
No, I did not write this.
No, I did not write this. I didn't write this.
No.
She's like, yeah, that's called plagiarism. Wait, no. Okay, I'll redo it.
No. I didn't even pick this font.
I didn't even pick this font.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, so many good
show.
references.
See, now that's
so good.
That's basically taking the place of The Office for me.
Yeah, because it's on Netflix.
Man.
Yeah,
that's it.
You can
no
watch
ads.
it. You can watch it over and over again with no ads.
Unlike Hulu, Netflix understands the appropriate amount of time until they ask you to stop.
Right.
Because I fall asleep with TV on.
Yeah.
So Netflix, I watch, fall asleep. An episode goes by and it stops.
Right.
Hulu, I watch, I fall asleep, and I'm a season ahead.
2.5 seasons ahead.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess I'm going back.
Hulu has or no, it's even worse on Paramount Plus. I don't know if you have that.
I used to. We got rid of it because we weren't using it enough.
Yeah, Paramount Plus is because they have the Ink Masters now on Paramount Plus.
I see.
And I was a big fan of that show. I watched one episode it's brand new. A brand new season's coming out only on Paramount Plus. So you watch one episode, I fall asleep halfway through it. Suddenly I'm into 3rd season of Ink Masters Divas.
Yeah.
And then I wake up again, and
RuPaul's Drag.
I'm on the Animaniacs. And the Animaniacs is playing.
Wow! It's just like, you liked Ink Masters.
Yeah,
you must like.
You
the
must
Animaniacs.
love Animaniacs, which I love the Animaniacs. Who doesn't? But I'm like, how did I get to the Animaniacs? It never stops. It goes all night long. So then my iPad battery is on 1% when I wake up in the morning.
See, that's the great thing is that my wife, I turned her into me over the years. We've been together so long that she used to not be a TV at night person. like at all, no TV on,
Okay.
black at night, which I can't get with.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
And now it's like, so we both have like the TV's on for both of us, and she
Right.
falls asleep and
Yeah, so Shari got me this. I used to do that, but I would turn the TV down real low because she would just go to sleep with the TV on. She got me this like headband that has speakers built into it, and it's better than like AirPods or any like wireless headset or even like a wired headset. Wired headsets, I would wake up choking myself or pulling the iPad off the book stand or whatever. This thing, the battery lasts for like 2 days, which is awesome. It's really good.
You sleep with it every night?
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
that's
like
awesome.
it's like $20. It was like really cheap too, but it was really, really cool. But because of that, then I'd like wake up like, and it's still on, and Paramount Plus is still going. At least Hulu does stop you halfway through the next season.
Yeah.
Netflix stops you like 2 episodes, and then it's like, are you still here?
Yeah.
Which is annoying when you're just sitting on the sofa playing video games.
It's great.
But at night, it's great. Yes. All right, back to Star Wars.
Yeah, we're almost at the end here.
We're almost at the end here.
They're talking. There's another guy.
So
that
they're talking,
comes back,
and then another guy comes on a speeder bike.
He's angry.
He's angry too.
And they all can see it. They're like, "Oh, bro.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming for you."
Yeah. So he's mad that they brought somebody else. Clem. Who brought Clem? Why
Who's
is
this
Clem here?
guy?
What would happen if you showed up and I didn't know that Clem was here? Well, I knew you were going to show up, so it's okay. So he's
Here
the
you are.
7th person
We
against
don't even
the
have
Garrison.
enough comms for this guy. We've
Yeah.
got 2
We've got
comms.
2
No,
backups.
those are not for him. Those are for
That's the backup
in
comm.
case.
Yeah, just in case the other comms
We
don't
didn't
work.
even bring enough ships for everyone.
So
and I specifically have a seating chart planned, and now I'm gonna have to redo the
meal
entire
plan.
thing.
I have 7 lunches put aside.
have to get
Now
an
I need
extra
another
wristband
lunch,
at the
another
venue.
wristband. Yep, this is not going to go well.
All I wanted was a regular free.
I made T-shirts that said Smith
I don't
Family
even know
Reunion.
I don't even know what size he is. I don't know what I'm gonna do about
You're
it.
just
He's gonna have to just wear whatever
You're
shirt
just
he
gonna
has
wear
on.
whatever. Yeah. So, and when I was in high school, we had a volleyball marathon, and my team, we had 5 people that we knew. We needed to get a 6th person, so we had to make T-shirts. So our 6th person, his name was Mr. X. And then when we finally found the 6th person, we're like, "Here's your T-shirt." He goes,
Mr. X.
"Oh, I'm Mr. X." We're like, "We had no idea who was going to be the 6th person. You're Mr. X." He's like, "Okay." So yeah, so that's pretty funny that you brought that up. Talking about going back 30 years, I'm going back even further. All right, so then this guy's angry as well, but then even he comes around because everybody just says, "No, this is the way," and then they're like, "Fine, whatever."
You know what's funny is I've had this sweatshirt on all day, and I'm just now realizing
that you have.
I have a shirt that says "This is the way."
This is the way. You have the Mandalorian shirt with "This is the way" underneath it
with my marching band sweatshirt.
Yes. We're way back to that. Simply, the payroll for the entire interior sector, garrison observation. Oh, so they're going through the layout. They have a model of what they're going to do,
and they're saying this is what we're gonna do. And Cashin's or Clem is like, "Y'all, this is a stupid idea.
Yeah,
you're all gonna die." And they're like, "We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die." And then did you notice the reference when he had the ship and he pulls out the ship and he goes, "It's not to scale," from Back to the Future. Clearly, this is not to scale.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Again, I was like so back and forth.
I was
like
awesome. Yes. As soon as you said that line,
I remember that line, but I did not make the connection.
You didn't make the connection, but yeah, I was like, yes, that's a great. That has to be an homage.
Very clearly, like I'm surprised I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. I was like, it's not just. He's like, I don't feel comfortable with the fact that it caught on fire as it went down there. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be just fine. So yeah, so they show Great Scott, Marty.
I love it. What is it? Michael Scott Productions. Great Scott.
So they show him the scale, they show him the plan, and they talk about how it can only happen on this one night,
right? Because there's a real pretty meteor shower,
right? And then then I'm watching it and I'm going,
we're gonna get a scene of them flying through that meteor shower.
Yes,
because they specifically said it looks beautiful from down below, but it's chaos in the sky.
It's chaos up in the sky.
Oh, I wonder if we're gonna fly through it.
And they were talking about how they're 9.5 minutes, they're 52 clicks, meters, whatever they said, away.
Not
parsecs.
I think clicks. I think it was clicks.
So he said you're at least 50 clicks away, 52. They'll be on us in minutes, 9.5 minutes.
9.5. Yeah, we know.
So was there a niner in there? Did I hear?
Were you calling from a walkie-talkie?
Were you calling from a walkie-talkie? So
we're all over the references tonight.
I know we're all over the references.
If you know what that reference is, send us an email at BanthaMilkPodcast@gmail.com.
There you go. Please do that. We
Yeah, right.
we like email. So yeah, so they have everything is worked out. It is very, very Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
All they need to do is
Thankfully, it's not Ocean's 12.
I know.
That movie sucked.
You know what's funny though? I love Ocean's 11. I could watch it every
Yeah.
time it comes on. It's one of those movies that I have to watch every single
Maybe
time.
that's
it comes
why I
on.
hated Ocean's 12 because I've never seen Ocean's 11.
Oh, 11 is so
I remember
much
I
fun.
went to see Ocean's 12 in the theater and I went, I don't like this, and I left.
I liked it. I didn't mind it because I liked 11 so much. And then the 13 was also fun. I just love the overthinking that they have and how they use all these. They have like terms for the different types of scams and stuff. And I'm like, are they real terms? Like, do scam artists actually call it by this name? Like, that would be really cool if they did that. Like, we're pulling a DeSalvio on this one. And it's like, oh, really? We haven't been able to do a
You gotta watch
DeSalvio
for
in
that.
years. Yeah, you got to watch for that.
Watch for that DeSalvio.
Yeah.
Catch you every time.
That's a good move. So yeah, so then they explain that you just said that it's not fireworks, but it's actually thousands of meteors coming down all at the same time,
Right.
which is going to be hard for any of the TIE fighters to fly through because it's just going to mess everything up. So that's our cloud cover. So I was like, okay, I finally figured out, okay, that's the cover that they're going for. So yes, we're going to see him flying this cargo ship through all of this.
Well, not flying so much, right? Because he even said that, oh, you don't fly it so much, but yes, we do that.
Yes, yeah. So
I don't do a very good catch.
no, you don't do a very well, where's he from? What country is he from?
Because he's a South American country, I believe.
Yeah, so yeah, you have to work on your South American accent.
I'm Puerto Rican. Well, I guess that's North America, so it doesn't
That
matter.
is North
anyway,
America.
Go on.
Yeah, you're still parts of the United States.
See.
See. So yeah, so the meteor shower in the sky is going to be the cover to keep the TIE fighters from attacking. But maybe next episode. I mean, this is the big deal. This is the big thing. Like this, I'm assuming this whole season is based off of this Ocean's 11 heist thing.
Maybe.
I can't see them.
That's the mid-season peak.
Maybe that could
and
be.
then we build towards whatever resolution comes
right,
out of that.
because if they get the money, then how is Mon Mothma going to be able to distribute the money and take care of things?
How many episodes? 12?
12 episodes.
And we're at 4. So I can imagine like episode 8 being like, or 6 or 7, something like that, being like that heist in the mid-season peak, and then like whatever fallout from that being like the big thing pushed towards. But who knows?
And we are gonna have to see what happens with Poindexter. What did you call him? Melvin. With Melvin, because he's now angry. Some people say he could turn to be on the rebellion side.
I've seen that. I don't think so. I think he's going to lean more into being angry and and blaming Cashin for all of this and make it his life. But there is precedent, because who was there was the Imperial officer in Rebels who.
Oh yes, with the red flat top and the beard
and the facial hair, like the chops, the mutton chops.
The mutton chops, yeah.
I forget his name, but he was like the big bad. He was like the really bad guy,
right? And even in the last 3 episodes, Hux was the same way.
Yep.
But Star Wars Rebels,
Callus,
yes.
Yep. I literally just Googled Rebels mutton chops.
That's awesome.
It's the first thing that popped up. That's great.
But yeah, so he did the same thing.
Will we see Callus? I kind of forget if Callus is around at this point.
I mean, this is the same exact time as Rebels, so we could see anybody from Rebels
in the Empire at this point, right?
And he could be still on the good side, as opposed to when he finally turns and is positive towards the Rebels. But it would be cool to see him. It would be cool to see a lot of people from Rebels in this. It would be a lot of fun. It would even be fun if we could get, because we did see the ship that looked like the Ghost in the last episode. It doesn't necessarily have to be the actual Ghost, but because we said that there are more YT 1600D cargo ships around. But yeah, it would be pretty cool to see some of the people from Ashley Eckstein is the one who played Ahsoka. Yeah. So it would be cool if she was the one in this era of Ahsoka. So yeah, and then as you said, then we end at a campfire. They're all eating some blue ramen, and they're eating, and they give Cashin a data pad.
Learn all that stuff.
Yes. Did you see this? Yeah, I've seen it in Datapad before.
Good. No,
Good. Now,
memorize it by tomorrow.
yeah, memorize it all. And
I'll
here's
take
some
first watch.
fun sayings that
Yeah, this is was it? I forget
slang,
what, yeah.
whatever the
Aldhani
Aldhani
sayings.
sayings, yeah, and everything you need to know about the cargo ship that you're going to be flying. We don't really fly it.
No. See you in 2 hours.
See you in 2 hours. Yeah. So that's pretty much how it ends. It was I liked it. I like this series because it's not your typical Star Wars lightsaber series. This is more of a war show, a war documentary.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like that's the lightsaber stuff. That's the stuff I love.
Yeah.
Like you would think, but like you would think I'd be bummed out about it. Like,
Right.
and I'd just be like, give me more lightsabers, which, you know, normally like in an Obi-Wan show, I'm like, yeah, give me that stuff.
Yeah.
But like, this has been great. And I don't mind like seeing one or two, like if Ahsoka joins that makes so much
Right.
sense. But like we said last week with like just that dude on the train and stuff, they're making Star Wars seem so relatable.
Yeah.
To
And
like
even
our world.
even the rebels, the guns that they were holding, I'm sure somebody else knows what the model is of those rifles, but the rifles that they were holding, they had like rounded clips, like a AK-47 would have, which part of me was like, if they shoot laser bolts, why do they need clips? But on the other hand, it's like it makes it look more down to earth and more grounded.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as spacey looking as it is like real and dirty and gritty.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's that. So all right, so we decided Thursdays.
We're gonna be coming at you live on YouTube. You can probably expect
Max Headroom's going to be there too.
That's right. I don't know why I just decided I'm going to go with that.
You just
Sunday.
Sunday. I'm coming at you.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah,
coming
man,
at you.
It was $2 you call it at the Landmark in Glassboro on Thursdays when I was at Rowan.
There you go.
But it was like a $10 cover charge.
$10 cover charge.
Like anyway,
anywho.
So Thursday evenings, you could probably expect us to go live on Spotify and all that. Probably Fridays.
Yep, it'll be on Fridays. It'll be up for you to listen to every Friday.
You've got
Thursday live on YouTube,
coming at you live for the next 9 or so weeks straight.
Yep,
right?
We're gonna actually post this a little earlier on YouTube, reminding you so that maybe you can join us in the chat next week.
We'll post about it on our Instagram,
on our Instagram
podcast, and our Facebook at BanthaMilk Podcast, and our Facebook group at Sacred Jedi Text.
Yes, you posted a funny meme on Sacred Jedi Text.
Yeah, which one was that? That was a good one. I remember. Then my boys, right?
Yeah,
I was talking about the droids. Yeah, there's a couple. And I feel bad because like I hate liking targeted advertisement.
Right.
Like when they post something to my feed because they think I'll like it.
Yeah.
And like I don't even realize I'll like it. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then it'll be like, oh, Facebook thinks you like this. And I'm like,
here we go.
Yep. The targeted advertisement worked on me.
It worked.
But it did. And that was one of those things that I liked and I shared. I'm like, that's hysterical. And then I look back, I'm like, oh man, I'm not even subscribed to them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so much spam. But like, is it spam if you like
like it, it's fine. Yeah. And then you can
not.
Just keep reposting it to Sacred Jedi Text. So it works for me.
And you can go see it, right? So check us out
That's
there.
Right.
Send us an email at BanthaMilk Podcast. Check out our friends at Ears Up Podcast, Ears with a Z.
Ears with a Z.
The Ears Up Network.
Yep.
All their different shows.
They do a lot of Disney stuff. So if you like Disney stuff. Right? And Eric from Ears Up and Sacred Jedi Text or not
Supreme
Resort. He also and Jimmy over there at Supreme Resort. If you want to go and visit Disney World or Disneyland, they work for Concierge with an S. And they're not with a Z, because only the coolest of the coolest have ears with a Z.
That's true.
Concierge with an S. They'll be your travel planner, and they do a really, really good job of getting you all that extra stuff.
I hear they let you sleep in like the spare bedroom in their houses.
Yeah, you can sleep at Jimmy's house.
It saves you a lot of money from spending.
Yep. Jimmy lives, in Georgia, so it's close to Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll let you sleep at his house.
A short boat ride away today.
Sorry about that, right? Florida.
Yeah, once in a 1,000-year storm.
So, two things. One, Star Wars news. One of the things was that the Galactic Star Cruiser is closed because of the storm.
Yeah, shocking.
I'm like, shocking.
It's probably in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico right now.
Yeah, like, okay, good. I'm glad that they closed it, that they're not like letting people try and like die inside of this.
Yeah.
And two, it wasn't for this storm, but one of our coworkers was watching, I think it was, I don't know if it was on TikTok or if it was on Insta or whatever, but some weatherman in Florida,
Oh, Jim Cantrell, right?
the one who was like, you're if it moves to the left, you're dead. Did you see that
Oh
one?
no, I did not see that.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous. This was a different storm because this storm was like coming up the right side of Florida. But he was like, if it goes 40 miles to the left, you're dead. You're all dead. This is a category 5 hurricane. There's no shot of anybody living if this goes to the left, even 40 miles. You're all dead. And then he ends it with, including your children. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, if you want to watch somebody just make sure that they get fired from a job,
And he was never heard from
he was
again.
never heard from again. Like, this is the way to guarantee that you're going to get
I'm gonna
fired
go into
from a
school
job.
tomorrow. Y'all, if you don't do your homework, you will all die.
All of
Well, I just
you.
peeked
You
again.
did. You just
My
peeked.
bad,
You hurt
everybody.
my ears.
Rob's gonna be like, man,
Yeah.
now I gotta go back.
The
And
people in
edit
the
that
car.
later.
I'm not editing that.
He's
I'm
like,
going to let
"Screw
you
that."
crash your car. Send any complaints to Nick DeSalvio.
That's right. That's my name. But it's been an hour and a half episode, about a 40-minute episode.
But there were so many good references.
It was a
to
great
other
one.
great TV
We are
shows.
officially a third the way through the season.
Yes.
A lot more to come, I think. So check us out here Thursday nights for the next 2 or so months.
Yep.
Somewhere in the middle of there, I'll have a child.
He will.
Very excited about
He
it.
may not be here for some of those
Yeah.
because the child may
We're
be
gonna be
crying.
tapping. So we're gonna tap some of you in.
Yeah.
Like,
We might have to
tag. You're it.
You're it. So Nick, you may see Nick if you're watching on the YouTube. You may see him at home.
Yeah, we might
with
have
a
to go back
baby.
to the
Yeah.
COVID days
To
of
the
like
of 2 separate studios.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, that was.
Or Nick will be like, sorry, I need to get out.
Yep. Sorry, y'all. Me and Vanjie got some poo to clean up.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, we're gonna go to sleep now. At least I am. And from all of us here at BanthaMilk Podcast headquarters, we have spoken.